What we experience through our mind and senses are all part of our reality. What we hear, what we see, what we touch. But what if life as we think of it is only part of a much greater story? Throughout history, many scholars have postulated an assortment of theories to explain the fundamental nature of reality. One of these theories suggests the universe is like a hologram. They believe that our 3D reality is more like a projection from a flat, two-dimensional field that exists on a thin surface at the edge of the universe. As extraordinary as this seems, it's a theory that initially emerged years ago from scientists studying black holes. If this is the case, and the universe is a hologram, then it begs the question, what are we? Are we existing as light projections within the hologram? And how might that impact our perception of reality?
Holographic reality, the physical that isn't, and how we can appear to be experiencing a world of solidity when it's nothing of the kind.
It's similar to video games. When you're moving in 3 dimensions in a video game, what you're really doing is just changing 2-dimensional pixels and changing the colors and making it seem like you're moving in different dimensions. When you look at these scenarios like the black hole, you start realizing that, okay, maybe this might just be a giant hologram of some sort.
We are living in a reality where the base form is waveform information, like Wi-Fi. And the 5 senses pick up that waveform information. They turn it into electrical information, they communicate it to the brain, and then the brain decodes it into digital holographic information. It's the same information, but in a different decoded form, just as the information in a Wi-Fi field looks very different, even though it's the same information, when it's decoded onto the screen of the computer.
According to Professor Kostas Skanderis at the University of Southampton, the idea is similar to that of ordinary holograms, where a 3D image is encoded in a 2-dimensional surface, such as in the hologram on a credit card. However, this time, the entire universe is encoded.
So the idea of the holographic universe is a similar idea where there is a higher reality that is the true reality. And it is the source of this reality. And then that higher reality has encoded a substrate of some kind with this information. And then there's a coherent source of energy that flows through that, and then that information projects into this physical universe. So with the holographic universe, it's saying that the most fundamental thing of this universe is information. And then that information informs how the universe is formed, whether it's in form of energy, forces, particles, and so forth, or even us.
And some of the more recent developments, certainly in my theories with the holographic mass solution, where we see that the universe very much acts like a hologram in terms that it seems that all the information is present in every point. So for instance, in the theory I'm writing, we were able to figure out, for instance, the correct temperature for the background radiation of the universe, the correct size of the universe, the correct mass for the universe, the correct values for many of the fundamental constants of the universe, just by studying one proton. In the dynamics of that one proton is all the information necessary to understand the whole universe, which is very much a holographic principle. And so there is a lot of evidence that's emerging supporting a holographic view of the mechanics of our universe.
Physicist Leonard Susskind, one of the originators of the holographic principle, has stated that a hologram takes 3 dimensions of information and stores it on a 2D surface. In the same way, even though objects are physically consumed by black holes, all of their information remains imprinted on the event horizon as a hologram.
The information that creates us, creates the physical universe, comes from the very edge of our own physical universe. But in the same way that we look at a hologram, we can perceive some kind of 3D perspective to it. That's exactly what is going on down here. So everything that we see, everything we feel is simply a projection.
It's like a sea of information or a sea of energy, and like waves on that ocean, they intersect, and that forms the information patterns that then project into the universe.
When the wave is the ocean, and the ocean is the wave, when the universe is within the proton, and the proton is within the universe. Understanding this fundamental perspective is key. The implication here is that the universe is a flow of information, where each point of information contains the whole of creation.
If all the information is in every point, then all scales are related. And so the scalar relationship from, for instance, all the way from the Planck scale all the way to the universal scale, going with protons, electrons, planets, stars, galaxies, superclusters, and so on. All these scales are like fractal division of this holographic structure of space. And so this fractal division of the space that produces all of the scales in the holographic structure means that every scale is then embedded in every other scale. So from every scale, you have access to the network of information of all the other scales. And all of a sudden, you can see the universe and creation as a whole as information transfer across scales from infinitely big to infinitely small, like a flow of information in which we are at one of the scales, at the center between the Planck scale and our universe. And so we are part of this information flow, the event of self-awareness and consciousness and so on, being part of that flow. And that means that from being part of that hologram, from being part of this fractal holographic structure, you have access to all the information that's non-local to you. That means information that's not necessarily directly in your environment, but maybe information about something very far away from you, because everything is entangled into this holographic nature of our universe.
This suggests that the information comprising what we perceive as 3D reality is stored on a 2D surface, including time. This means essentially everything we see and experience that appears as real may in fact be an illusion.
So this reality is a holographic dream, in effect. But it seems so real when so many of our dreams don't seem real. We know they're dreams. We wake up and you say, I've had a dream. But this one seems incredibly real because of the power of the mind. I mean, I don't know about, your dreams. I dream often in 3 dimensions, if you like. I experience in my dreams what appears to be the world that I experience here. But how can that be? Because we accept that dreams are actually going on here. So it can't be physical, can it? We're having multiple experiences at the same time, over multiple dimensions at the same time. But the one we are actually aware of that seems real is this one. As the brain decodes this waveform information into what appears to be this solid world,